It's Friday, September 18th, 2020. Welcome back to the Nerd National Communication Center. I'm Mike, and it's time for the EV news. In the news this week, GM, Lucid, and VW all make some EV news, but the big news coming up on September 22nd is the Tesla Battery Day. That's what we're all waiting for. Let's check out some rumors on that and this other news. First up, on EV News for this week is a couple articles about GM. GM has been steadily trickling out information on their new electric car program as they're going to be bringing out more and more electric cars. First article here is talking about their wireless battery management system. And basically one of the things they say is it cuts down on the wires running within the battery pack by up to 90%. So that's a simpler design. It's going to drop the cost of the battery pack. And they also say that it may possibly, or it's speculated in this article, that it might also permit owners to swap out battery modules in the future because each battery module will have its own management system and be calibrated to work with the others. So that would allow some upgradability, some individual replacement of modules in your battery pack, possibly bringing down that immense cost of replacing the entire battery pack. Let's look at the next article. Next article is over at Electrek, where GM unveils its lineup of Ultium electric drive units, 5 different electric motors for a range of needs in their future electric car program. And this should give them great flexibility in delivering the right motor or motors for a particular electric vehicle. So if I scroll down here, we can get a look at these different drive units. And there is a quote here by Ken Morris. Let me read this. GM has built transmissions for many notable automakers, making motors, transmissions, driveline components, and systems are among GM's best known competencies, and our manufacturing expertise is proving not only transferable but advantageous as we make the transition to EVs. So reading between the lines, it looks like GM is going more towards vertical integration, bringing some of the engineering for their EVs back in-house. Are they looking at how Tesla does things to say, hey, this has advantages? Well, time will tell. Let's move on. Over at Green Car Report, we've got an article on the Lucid Air electric luxury sedan, and the highest cost version is going to be $169,000. There was some hope that they would have a $60,000 version, have a version starting at $60,000, but it looks like the base price is going to be $80,000. So it looks like they are going to be trying to compete directly with the high-end, high-performance luxury market against Tesla. We will see how well they do, but 1,000 horsepower on a dual motor layout and 168 miles an hour and a 0 to 60 speed of 2.5 seconds is pretty impressive. We'll see if there's room in the high end, in the upper end of the EV market for Lucid. Well, if you follow electric cars at all, you have been looking forward to Tesla's Battery Day event coming up on Tuesday, September 22nd. And I've been seeing a lot of articles speculating about what Tesla might be revealing on this day. Are they going to give us more information on Project Roadrunner, which is Tesla's secret project to bring its battery production in-house, and where they're building a Tesla battery manufacturing facility on Fremont next to its Fremont factory? We don't know. Are they going to announce The million-mile battery, are they going to announce an efficiency increase in the batteries? Are they going to announce a cost reduction in the batteries? Tesla's been building this up. I mean, on September 11th, he tweeted, "Many exciting things will be unveiled on Battery Day 9/22." And I'm going to be watching it, and I'm going to make a special video as soon as we know the truth. And yet another article speculating on what's going to happen on Tesla Battery Day, this one over at Inside EVs. And you can watch the video and read more about this speculation. But some of this again is about Tesla making its own batteries, the Plaid project for the Model S, the Tesla Semi, the Cybertruck. Maybe we're going to get news on all this, but it is eagerly anticipated. So you can look at some more speculation with this article over at Inside EVs. Continuing on with the Battery Day speculation, I've seen a couple websites that have had these pictures pop up, which are allegedly the new battery cell produced at the in-house Roadrunner project from Tesla. These are significantly larger than the existing batteries they're using. So, and they're allegedly manufactured differently because there is some information on a patent that Tesla applied for where the battery cells would have a tabless electrode, which is, quote, way more important than it sounds because I think it's going to drop the cost of making batteries. So I've got this trio of articles. I have them all linked in the description leading up to Battery Day. Some more news from Tesla over at Electrek talking about some of the updates that are going to be coming out on the Model 3 soon. There's going to be a change to the center console. What that means, I don't know. A change to the steering wheel. The Model 3 is going to be switching over to the heat pump and octavalve that the Model Y uses, and there could be some other changes as well. But there was some speculation they were getting ready to start putting the octavalve and the heat pump in the Model 3 because the frunk has changed a little smaller. That article came out several weeks ago. Several people noticed it, that the frunk is like the Model Y, which makes room for the heat pump. So we will see if how exciting the new steering wheel is. Center console 2.0, new headlights and taillights, powered trunk gate, chrome delete. I like chrome delete. Octavalve and heat pump, and new windows with double panes, which should cut down on noise. So, interesting little update. Tesla likes to do those rolling updates to their vehicles, and we should see these coming out soon. Over at the Drive, on the other hand, and a couple other websites, I ran across these pictures and discussion about it, about a decidedly non-professional looking way to latch down this cooling unit on the Model Y. That looks like plastic corner bead you would get at the Home Depot. Now, it may work well, but it's not what you expect to find when you pull the frunk out of your car, your very expensive car. That looks like some interesting engineering. So you can read this article over at the Drive and try to get to the bottom of it. I've seen some forums on this and some discussion, and the Tesla defenders have said, "I don't care how it looks as long as it works good." I don't know that I trust that. That looks pretty shady. Not sure. Hopefully it works well and doesn't look good. All right, next article, also Tesla related, is following some progress on the Tesla Gigafactory site, or maybe we should call it the Terafactory. but some site plans have revealed that it's going to have two massive buildings with an alleyway in between them. I've been watching a YouTube channel that is using a drone to show us the progress of the Terafactory site. And the website is called Terafactory Texas. And he's been putting out updates and has a little commentary at the beginning and then a lot of drone footage. As you can see right now, they're mostly just moving dirt, and they're also doing some pilings which will support the foundation. So if you want to see the progress of the Gigafactory Texas Tesla plant, you can go over to YouTube and go to Terafactory Texas. Switching over to talking about the Volkswagen electric vehicles, the ID4 is gearing up and they're looking to sell 500,000 crossovers annually by 2025. Now, they say it's primarily going to be positioned against the ICE crossovers of the same size, like the Toyota RAV4 and such, but it looks like it's about in the same class as the Tesla Model Y. So Volkswagen is getting to the point where they're really starting to gear up their electric car production, aiming to produce a total of 1.5 million electrified vehicles by the year 2025. So they are cranking it up and they're going to be releasing a lot of vehicles, and the ID4 is going to be built in Europe, the United States, and I believe also in China. So soon we'll be hearing a lot more about Volkswagen electric vehicles. And while we're at it, I'll jump over to this article I found at Electrek showing us some pictures of the interior of the ID4 and speculating that it is inspired from the Tesla as being more utilitarian, more plain, Spartan. That's the word I'm looking for. However, as you can see, Volkswagen does believe in actually putting more than a few buttons in the vehicle to control common things. Pretty good looking console. I do like having the center console. Recently, I did test drive a Tesla Model Y, and I did not find it distracting to have to look at my speed on the center console, but it's different, so I can understand why the console is a little polarizing. Now, that's just not a bad looking interior at all. Although, I've got to say that I think the Cadillac Lyric has the most gorgeous interior with that really long sweeping screen. I like the look of it. I don't think I would want to spend that much money, but it's pretty cool looking. There's a trade-off between the two. Gonna be interesting. Competition is good. As I finish up the electric car news for this week, couple articles about green energy. Electrek has an article talking about, for the first time, I believe, that the growth in U.S. generating capacity, that green is leading all other sources. So green energy made up 57% of the new capacity added to the grid in the first 6 months of 2020, with natural gas being 42% and coal almost being insignificant. So green energy is growing quickly in the United States. It is still lagging behind Europe, but 23% of the electricity in the United States from green energy sources is not too shabby. Texas has been run completely off wind power on windy nights when you don't need a whole heck of a lot of power and the wind is blowing strong in West Texas near Lubbock. So good news, getting more and more green energy. And last of all, seeing the handwriting on the wall, Electrek has an article about a BP report talking about peak oil. BP's report basically says there are three possible scenarios coming down the road. Scenario 1, rapid transition. Carbon emissions from energy use fall by 70% by 2050. Scenario number 2, net zero. Carbon emissions from energy fall by over 95% by 2050. And business as usual, but even that says that carbon energy sources will fall by at least 10% below current levels. I think we've hit peak oil because energy sources are changing to renewables and electric cars are gaining more and more significant market shares. So my father was a geophysicist, and when I was growing up in the 1970s and the 1980s, my father said, we're going to run out of oil by the year 2000. And I think he would have been entirely correct if new extraction technologies had not been developed, such as fracking, because all the conventional oil reserves and the techniques used to extract them in the 70s and 80s were beginning to dry up. So that was going to cause an energy shortage. But we're looking at a transition now where we are transitioning to renewable energies faster than the oil supply is drying up. So oil production will begin to drop steadily as the next decade goes on. And that's going to do it for Electrotech. I am so looking forward to Battery Day this Tuesday and finding out the mysteries that Elon Musk has been hinting at. So if you enjoyed this, please like and subscribe so you will be aware of when I release the next EV news. And thanks a lot. Stay well. Take care.